Have you ever seen students hold a teacher hostage? I was in freshman English when the principal came on the intercom. Everyone needs to enter lockdown immediately. We all started moving our desks against the door like we'd practiced a million times since elementary school, but this old substitute teacher started laughing like we were all morons. He literally stood in front of the door with his arms crossed. Stop being so dramatic and sit back down. They're obviously just running another pointless drill, and I refuse to waste precious class time on this nonsense. My friend Ezra kept pushing his desk toward the door anyway and said, "Dude, we're supposed to follow lockdown protocol no matter what." The substitute actually walked over and shoved Ezra back into his chair. "Listen carefully, you little punk. I've been teaching since before your parents were born, and I know a drill when I hear one. Anyone who touches that door gets expelled, and I'll personally make sure you never get into college." Ezra looked at me like, "Is this guy serious right now?" The principal came back on, and his voice was all shaky. "Staff and students, please maintain lockdown positions until further notice." The substitute just said, "Wow, they're really going all out with this fake drill today." Most kids sat back down because nobody wanted to get expelled, but I looked out the window, and every other classroom had their lights off with nobody moving. Then Leah's phone started blowing up with texts from her boyfriend in the gym. "Oh my god, my boyfriend just texted that someone ran through the gym with a firearm," she whispered. She showed us the text that said, "Two teachers are bleeding on the floor. Get somewhere safe now." Everyone started checking their phones. This girl behind me goes, "My sister says she heard 6 shots from the main office." Another kid said, "My friend just saw the secretary run by covered in blood." The substitute went absolutely mental and started grabbing everyone's phones. "You're all pathetic idiots falling for some sick prank. Your worthless generation can't tell reality from social media because you're brain dead from TikTok." He threw all our phones in his desk drawer, but they kept buzzing nonstop with texts and calls. Then someone started yanking on our door handle so hard the whole frame was shaking. We could hear this guy breathing heavy and muttering to himself, saying things like, "I'm going to find them all." Ezra whispered, "We need to hide right now." The substitute waved his hand and said, "That's just administrators checking if doors are locked for their drill paperwork." Jace, this kid who never says anything, suddenly stood up. "Screw this. I'm not dying because you're on a power trip." The substitute grabbed Jace's shirt with both hands, but Jace shoved him into the whiteboard. "Touch me again and I'll knock your dentures out, you psychotic freak." Everyone just snapped. 5 guys started throwing desks against the door, while others started creating hiding spots in the corner. The substitute was screaming, "I'm calling the police to have you all arrested for assault." But nobody cared because we were literally just trying not to die. We killed the lights and everyone crammed into the corner except for the substitute. He just stood in the middle of the room yelling, "You've all destroyed your futures over nothing." The door handle turned again super slowly this time, and we could see it actually bending from the pressure. The guy outside pushed against our desk barricade, and it slid back across the floor 3 inches. The substitute was about to yell something else when Leah literally slapped her hand over his mouth. "Shut up or you're going to get us killed." 3 guys had to pin him down and keep him quiet while we heard this guy right outside going, "I know you're in there. I'm going to make you pay." He kicked our door twice, then tried the handle again before moving on. We heard glass breaking and kids screaming from the room next door. The substitute's eyes were huge, but he tried to mumble through Leah's hand. "That's probably just security testing if we properly secured the room." We stayed hidden for 30 minutes with guys taking turns keeping the substitute quiet. When the SWAT officers found us, they saw 3 students literally sitting on the substitute to keep him restrained. It turns out there was an actual shooter who had already fired at 3 people in the main office. The classroom next door lost 2 students because their door wasn't barricaded. If those guys hadn't barricaded the door when they did, we all would have died. The substitute got arrested for child endangerment, and the district banned him from ever working with kids again.